The hotel industry is a wild experience that helps you understand how disconnected the wildly wealthy are. I've seen the darker side of humanity: suicides, murders, spousal abuse, human trafficking. That shit stays with you for a long time.
What are you saying, people? My name is Nawo and welcome back to my channel to another reaction. First things first, some housekeeping. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, naughty, go and click on the subscription button, press the notification bell so you're always notified when I upload a new video. It doesn't cost you anything, it's absolutely free for you, it just supports me in doing what I'm doing and putting out these videos. We want to really make this channel grow. I can't do it on my own, right? I need your support here, guys, so go on, push yourself. Today we're going to react to front of house manager that gives us the ins and outs of how some of his very rich clientele behave themselves in their hotel rooms. So without further ado, let's just jump straight into the video, shall we?
One weekend, a large group of around 60-ish people, they wanted to purchase out the entire hotel so they could just turn it into a giant orgy. The cost of that property was upwards of $250,000 for 2 nights at a time. That says you've got money to spend. They left a nightmare room. Blood, feces, semen stains. One of my bellboys came up and was like, "I've got a black light, I'm curious." He turned it on, and I remember we looked down and saw the stains, we looked to the sides and saw them on the wall. At one point in the bathroom, we looked up and saw them all on the ceiling, and we were just like, how
on earth is
how
that?
do you do this? This is not human. Were you on the ceiling?
Just listening to this, it reminds me of Wolf of Wall Street, the movie. If you guys haven't watched it, go and do it. Sometimes people think like money entitles them and allows them to get away with a lot of things. And to be honest, it mostly is the case, right? Money does buy you a lot of freedoms, and you can get away with a lot of things that you shouldn't be getting away just because you have money. But wake up, we live in a world that is driven by greed and fear. Money is the currency here.
I worked as an operations manager for around 10 plus years. I've worked in hotels where the average daily rate is anywhere from like $99 and then all the way up to boutique properties where the average cost is around $1,400 per night. In general, the higher up the price value, the more common it is to be treated like you're less than human. The people who are coming to visit you, famous pop stars and Russian oligarchs, they have a private plane that they get in a private vehicle with all tinted blackout windows. Sometimes they have security squads. They'll snap their fingers at them. Very large sense of entitlement where if they approach the desk, they are the only thing that exists to you in that moment. And
I'm curious, these famous pop stars, like most of them you might know, right? That there's obviously live off our support, listening to their music, going to their concerts and stuff like this, and you might feel like, oh my god, what a nice person. After a certain degree of wealth, like this guy says, you have a certain sense of entitlement that you just feel like you are superior over the human race. And it just sit back and let that sink in. These are people that we support, to get to that level. Are we supporting the right people? Are we giving power to the wrong people?
And that's what they came to expect from that level of entering a luxury hotel. Most people who visit boutique hotels are not coming for business. They're there for pleasure. There was a group of fabulously wealthy individuals. You can definitely get a sense of how much wealth they actually have when they're talking about things like buying a fleet of Boeings in the lobby casually. They would buy out this entire property. They were spending as much as a luxury wedding, and it was basically a giant swingers orgy.
Swingers orgy, yes. Who could they possibly be? These are CEOs of some of the major companies in the world. These are the people that we will feel like just because they have a suit and a tie, we give them a certain level of respect. Do they deserve it? Well, obviously, because they have worked hard to get to that position to begin with, right? Okay, fair enough. Credit where credit is due. But What are you doing when you're there? How do you determine the real character of a human being? Give him power and money, and then you will see what that person is capable of.
You'd have people having sex in the pool, people laying on our wine bars naked, a couple having sex on a balcony in plain view. So you're looking up at it, quite an angle. And every single room would have a different theme and a safe word posted outside of the door. The one that stands out to me was there's a mermaid themed room. It was actually kind of impressive, the details they went, so it was very like under the sea vibe. There was the Wild West room. There was the straight up BDSM room. One couple we had to talk to, while they were naked, they would purposely wait to start having sex until housekeeping wanted to clean the room. They wanted somebody to watch. The day after they had all departed, I got a call from housekeeping saying that one of the showers is busted, and I go take a look at it, and they had half.
I have a good feeling why people do this once you get to that level. We are fortunate enough in the West to live in relatively peaceful times. Soft times make weak people. And weak people, they look for something that someone in a country like Afghanistan, Iraq, Yemen right now, or Syria, Palestine, they wouldn't even think of doing stuff like this right now. Like, they're scared of their own life. They've got so much adrenaline shit going on in their mind. They just get like going down to the shop, to the corner shop, coming back if they still make it alive. That is equivalent of 20 times bungee jumping, right? So when you're bored, you look for that sort of stuff. You need that next kick. Every day watching Netflix at home with crisps or chips. How long are you going to do this for? So you look for that next kick, and the next kick is then going into, oh, normal sex is not enough. Let us now let people watch us.
Sawed off the actual shower piece, the shower head, and attached a 4-foot long anal probe hose to it, with multiple settings on the other end. And that was as disgusting as you can imagine. After all of the drama and mental scarring that we put up with for this orgy buyout group, probably between about 30 staff, I want to say we made $20 in tips.
Oh my days. Can you imagine? He said there's a group that rented the place for $250,000 and they made $20 on tips. I just went to a restaurant the other day and I paid, I think, £6 or no, £5 tip on a £40 meal.
I found myself on more than one occasion getting stuck in awkward situations between husbands, their lovers, and then the actual wife. The worst case scenario was husband and wife shared credit cards naturally, and she started seeing the hotel show up on the books, and she stormed in and like slammed bank statements down. It's like, I know my husband's here, you guys are lying to me, we have to just say, you know what, I'm so sorry, we don't have anyone here by this name. Yeah. And meanwhile,
they can't say anything. It's their job. They're doing their job. Have your husband under control, I would say, lady.
We could literally hear them.
Control is a strong word.
Having sex upstairs. Apparently she didn't notice. The sounds were familiar to her, which might be a sad statement on their marriage, actually. The problem with working with the fabulously wealthy is that they often assume that the staff is there at their beck and call regardless of what the request is. It was really common for the high rollers to approach attractive staff members and essentially just ask them, hey, if I pay you X amount of dollars, will you meet me in my room later?
Oh, this is disgusting. This is someone's daughter, someone's sister, someone's wife. How would you feel if someone did that to yours? Have some respect, have some honor, have some dignity, live by some sort of principles. Money comes and goes, right? At the end of the day, we won't take anything with us from this world other than rope and our coffin. That's it. Nothing. But how will people speak about you, the legacy that you leave behind? This is absolute scum of the earth.
At night and knock my brains out. That's a quote from someone, sadly. We had a very busty, gorgeous front desk woman at one hotel, and someone came down and offered her quite a bit of money in front of management. And at the moment, she naturally declined. I have security cameras in all the halls, and seeing that person sneak out around 2 a.m. was definitely a little suspicious. The most shocking example was an incident where the wedding was around 2.
And then you obviously, people can get away with it because there's people who actually fall for it and do it, like this lady that he just mentioned. The good old story of supply and demand.
2 p.m.-ish that day. Come nightfall, one of our event staff slept with the wife and ended up getting caught. It turned into quite a big deal with screaming and shouting and all this stuff. He hid in a bathroom in a supply closet until the heat died down, and then he just walked into the front office and clocked out like nothing ever happened. His mom happened to be in charge of events, so she made sure he didn't get terminated. The demographics of the staffs who work at hotels are usually pretty evenly split. If you're an attractive white person who speaks English quite well, you're probably going to be reservations, front desk, something visual. If you're not of that ethnicity, just because they have an accent and that might not present well to your guests, your most likely bet is that you're going to get placed in housekeeping. If you're working...
Wow. I'm speechless, wow.
A decent property, you could probably get $10 to $15 an hour as a front desk host. If you're housekeeping, you're maybe getting $9 to $10. It was wildly unfair. We were actually advised to handle our housekeeping teams under the concept of divide and conquer, telling them, oh, well, so-and-so's team's much better than yours. You should really try to keep up with the Mexican team. It creates that toxic environment. This prevented the entire housekeeping.
I'm also a manager of a rather large team, not in the hotel industry, but I manage a large team across multiple territories, right? The worst thing you can do is create internal competition where people start comparing themselves with each other. All they do is it creates a toxic environment. Key to success is always teamwork, always work together and you achieve a lot more. You can only go that far as an individual. You need help to make that extra step, reach that extra level of excellence.
Keeping team from uniting together and presenting concerns. And I saw that kind of model in multiple hotels. In retrospect, I can safely say that the hours they made me work, the wild situations you'd run into, it's a miracle that I never got in a really bad car accident commuting. It slowly burns you out in a way that you can't explain until you're out of it. You just kind of know something's wrong and you're not happy. The biggest thing that the public...
You go into autopilot, you're just there. You're just going through the motions and you're not present. You're not taking stuff in anymore, Like I can pretty much imagine that even if something very bad happened, like let's say murder or something on the hotel, people miss it because they're just in this motion. They don't take risks serious anymore because they've just been in that bubble of nothing surprises me in this hotel anymore, or in this environment anymore. Stains on the wall, wife gets banged in the closet. So everything would be just brushed off and like, yeah, probably, whatever. It does burn you out and it makes you, be on autopilot, not be yourself anymore.
Doesn't understand about the hotel industry is that there are wild things happening behind closed doors every single day. Fabulously wealthy individuals are wild. Everything happens behind closed doors at hotels.
Everything happens behind closed doors, especially with these very rich people that feel a sense of entitlement that they can get away with anything and everything just because they have either money or connections and power. But you know what? If you want to stop it, we have to be the change that we want to see in the society. We have to make it stop. We have to be more diligent in our approach when it comes to this sort of behavior. It makes me sad, not because of the people that are getting involved in this, because you're always making your own decision and choices in life, right? It makes me sad to the fact that people get just so lost once they reach that point. They're just so lost that there is no morale in dignity, integrity to their character anymore. Money should be there to be used for helping society, but also yourself enjoying life to an extent that is within ethical framework. You see, anything beyond that bound is just... Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comment section what you think could be done to stop this sort of behavior. You can also let me know what other videos you want me to react to, and I'm happy to oblige. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget, click the subscribe and notification bell so you're notified when other videos are being uploaded. Again, as I said, it is absolutely free for you. It just supports me doing what I'm doing. And with that, people, I'll see you in my next video. Peace out.